Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to another episode of Spoony
and LeBlanc.
Today we're doing another top 6 video, and it is our top 6 least favourite fly types.
Yeah, so we picked out the chat-up card from the last video, you know, don't need that anymore. You know, let's get rid of that.
Oh no! Yeet!
You know,
That's gone. It's no longer needed.
absolutely. So yeah, we're not. So yeah, we got rid of that. So we are on to our least favourite flying types. A video that I have found quite difficult again.
Yeah. I don't think it was as hard as I thought it was going to be. Like going through, because there wasn't many fly types that I didn't particularly like. So for me, it was a case of don't particularly like that, don't particularly like that. No, writing them down and going, okay, yeah, I've got this many. Let's order them. And It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be, but yeah.
I struggled to pick out 6. Yeah, I struggled to pick out 6 that I hated, but essentially I did sort of expand onto ones that I didn't really care about. So this list has around about 5 of those, four that I genuinely dislike, and then about 2 that I don't really care about. So,
okay.
So usual rules apply. No legendaries, no mythics, including Gigantamax and Megas. We have to count their base form, and also this is our own opinion. Yours might be different. You may be wrong, but that's okay. We agree to disagree.
Cool.
Go on then, Spoony. Kick us off with number 6.
Kick off with number 6. It's actually a Pokemon I don't actually dislike. I put it on this list for one reason only, and it's Zubat. You know the reason why. It's a nuisance in Gen 1, and well, in any case really. You know, it's always been that nuisance. Everyone hates it because of that nuisance, and that's the only reason it's on the list. So I don't actually dislike Zubat. It's just there because
I'm going to play devil's advocate and defend Zubat here. I think he gets a bad rap. I think that dealing with him in Gen 1, he is in abundance, but I think that generally Geodude was probably worse to deal with. But again,
I think Geodude was hard to deal with, taking down wise.
Yeah.
But I think Zubat appeared more. That's what the
especially when abilities came into it as well. When abilities became a thing, Geodude was certainly more of a nuisance.
Oh, definitely.
Sturdy, self-destruct.
Yeah.
Gone.
I couldn't agree with you there, but I'd say this is a fight, not this one.
Yes.
You're just a fight type.
I will respect that choice with Zubat, and I can understand it.
As I said, it's not a Pokemon I actually dislike. It's only on the list because it's that good old. No, it's a nuisance, and
it is a nuisance. Let's be fair. On to my number 6 now, and I have chosen a Pokemon that I've spoken about before, and it's because of 2 words, and those 2 words are Sky Battle. This is Emolga. Now, Emolga, I don't necessarily hate, but similar to you, it was a real nuisance in Gen 6 when you had Sky Battles. My days, literally every other trainer had one, and it'd knock your Pokemon for 6 every time. And I hated dealing with it in Sky Battles, because especially when I sent out my Gyarados.
Because that's
greatest in Emolga, I can't believe it. And for such a weak Pokemon, it packed a punch.
Oh yeah, it's Sky Battles, obviously.
Yeah. That's the
like I say, you have a reason for it, and
similar to you and Zubat.
You have just one reason. So I can understand that. Okay, so moving on to number 5, it's Pokemon that, one of the ones where, how you pronounce it, Siligif, but for me, don't particularly hate it. It's different, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, it's I believe it's a flying psychic type.
It is. It's
I found no general use for it.
That's what I mean. I didn't find use for it either. Obviously, you've got Natu and its evolution.
Xatu.
Which also psychic flying, and I tend to use them as psychic flying more than I did.
So much better.
So
but I'm pretty sure Lugia's psychic flying as well.
Of course, Lugia's legendary.
So we can't include on any of
spoiler alert, but no, Luger is one of my favourite.
Yeah. I totally agree with Sigilif. I think it's Sigilif. It's just kind of there. It's just it's stagnated.
I appreciate what they tried to do with it, like being that like totem pole sort of like design. I don't mind this design. It's just Pokemon that's not for me.
Yeah, and again, I'm not a huge fan.
As I said, like
yeah.
When we both said like we've never found any uses for it.
No,
it's there and that's it.
Yeah, it's purely there just to exist. It doesn't have an evolutionary line, or not that I'm aware of. Maybe it could have an evolutionary line, might give it a bit more legitimacy. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just single stage evolution. They either work really well or they don't work at all, and this is one that doesn't work at all. Yes. On to my number 5 now. Now, this Pokemon absolutely reeks of mid-evolution syndrome. I am talking, of course, of Togepi's evolution, Togetic. Now, bear with me here. Togetic, I never liked at all. When it gained the evolution Togekiss, it gave it a lot more legitimacy because I liked Togekiss. Togetic didn't seem like a nice evolution from.
It's not a evolution that makes sense, obviously.
No. Whereas Togekiss looks more like a Togepi. And of course, being that bird style coming from the egg, it kind of fits it better. So Togetic would have been lower on this list, or higher should I say, if it wasn't for the existence of Togekiss. I love Togepi. Didn't like Togetic at all. Couldn't get it because, again, I think it was a trade.
I'm not sure.
Or it was something. It was either trade or it was friendly or something. So I never got it when I played Silver and Gold. So I always had a Togepi, and Togetic was nowhere near my team. So,
see, for me, I'm not a big Togekiss fan. Like, I actually probably prefer Togetic to Togekiss. Like, but I can understand where you're coming from with it, definitely.
Yeah, for me, Togekiss felt more natural to Togepi, whereas Togetic is just that standard mid-evolution line. It's there for the sake of being there, pretty much. So I live safe in the knowledge that one day that my Togetic will become a Togekiss.
Okay, so moving on to our number 4, it's a Pokemon I've talked about before, and it's Orichalcum. Like, obviously, it has a lot of forms, and that's part of the reason why it's not lower on the list. It's because it has so many forms. Like, but as I said before, it's just not a Pokemon that does anything for me. Like, it's got all the forms, and I've never ever used any of its forms. And like, it just doesn't do it for me.
Introduced, of course, in the Alola region. For me, playing through Alola, much preferred Toucannon. Toucannon was my flying type in Alola, not Orichalcum or Oricorio or whatever it's called. I don't like it either, to be honest. And funnily enough, I also have it at number 4. So
okay.
So there we go. Absolutely. I'm not going to dwell on that too often because, again, we've already kind of covered it.
As I said, like, if it did it, I don't think if it didn't have its forms, it probably would be lower
or higher. But 100% agree with that. It wasn't a Pokemon for me. Cool. Let's move on to our number 3 picks.
So at number 3, it's a Pokemon that, like, for me, I don't dislike. Like, it's one of them where I don't like it, but I know it isn't, like, a lot of people do like it. It's Delibird. Like,
spoiler alert, we agree again.
It's number 3.
What is the chances there, Like, again, the handshake goes up.
For me, like, and obviously for you, like, it's a single evolution for one. And it's a single evolution that, like, I think Delibird personally is just crying out for evolution.
It really needs it. It desperately needs it. And again, and part of the reason it's on my list as well is because it doesn't have that evolution. It doesn't have any relevance to it.
Yeah, it has no use.
No, it's
obviously,
cute.
I don't mind its design, and I like what they did with its design. Obviously, it's meant to be like a Christmas bird, like, you know, like Santa's like helper sort of thing in a way. So I don't mind that at all. But for me, it's like like I say, it's the middle of the list because I don't dislike it, but it's mid because it's crying for evolution and it's got it has no use.
It does have a Paradox version coming out in Scarlet and Violet.
Sorry, I did forget about that.
But again, I'm not a big fan of that because it is just Delibird as a robot, and again, it doesn't really mean anything to me yet until I actually get it, and until I get it and use it, Delibird's going to remain number 3 on my list.
Yeah. Talking of that sort of thing, as I said to you earlier today, like off camera, with a lot of the Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet, like when I first saw them revealed, like there was a few that I didn't particularly like the look of. Then when I've seen them in game, I've gone, oh, actually, no, that's
Yeah.
So
we were going to recap that. Eventually, we obviously did our tier list the first time round. We want to revisit that to see if any of them have moved.
I think that's going to be a long video. You know,
it will be a long video. We'll be in for the long haul.
There's 103 new Pokemon.
Yeah, we might have to split it up.
Probably several parts, but Anyway, moving on to your number.
So we agreed
anyway. Yes, sorry, wrong place. Yeah. So moving on to my number 2. It's Doduo. Once again, it's just a very, very basic design.
Doduo was a wasp's whisker away from making my list. Or Dodrio, whichever one.
I don't mind Dodrio. It's a lot better than Doduo for me. But it's one of them where it's just so basic.
Bearing in mind in Gen...
I think it's a really dull design as well. Bearing in mind in Gen 1, the flying Pokemon that you could get, obviously the OG Pidgeot. You could have had Fearow as well, which has very similar stats to a Pidgeot. You know, you've got when later on when you start getting the flying attacks, TMs like the better flying attacks, like Hurricane and things like that. Charizard is a flying type. So is Dragonite, Gyarados. You've got the 3 legendary birds. Was Gyarados a flying type in Gen 1?
Yes.
I was just pure water.
I
watched it was just pure water or not.
Yeah, so for me, all of them Pokemon that I've just listed off, I would pick over Doduo or Dodrio on my team.
100%. So like I say,
it was a wasp's whisker away from making my list. 100% agree with that. On to my number 2 now. Now we've already kind of touched on this guy, and that is Sigilif. Now, of course, Sigilif, the problem that I also have with it, and it's a lot lower down on my list, is it doesn't do anything. It's just there.
You mean higher up, not that down?
Yeah, either or. We're getting a bit mixed up here, you know. It's been a long day. But it's existing for the sake of existing. It's like somebody decided, let's make a Pokemon look like a bit of a dream catcher and a totem pole. It's like,
actually, there you go, Dreamcatcher. That's not a bad evolution for it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that sort of thing, I think could definitely work.
Absolutely.
Like,
I'd love to see like a proper Dreamcatcher with the feathers and everything.
Yamask or Yamask.
Yamask,
like, that's like almost got like a similar design in a way, and obviously you've got it evolving into the mummy and then
Cophagrigus, I believe it is.
In the Sword and Shield.
Yes.
Like, if you did something similar to that with Sigilif or Sigilif, however you want to pronounce it, I think it would give it some legitimacy, and I think it would potentially become a Pokemon I actually quite like if it had that. Like once again, it's that evolution. It's crying out for it.
Wasted opportunity. Now again, I'm not saying that all single stage evolution Pokemon are bad. It just, some of them were crying out for it and got that additional that evolution, i.e., let's look at Gen 1, Electabuzz, Scyther, Magmar, you know, they all got that evolutionary, evolutionary higher, better stage. You know, they got an evolution and it worked for them.
In fact, to be fair, come to think of it, obviously we have the paradox forms in Scarlet and Violet. I think it would have been a good Pokemon for one of them.
I would have loved to have seen
Especially
a futuristic totem pole for Sigilif.
Futuristic or like, you know,
primitive.
A primitive form. Like, I think that's potentially a missed opportunity that they had there.
Very much a missed opportunity. Game Freak, if you're watching, get us
on. That's an idea for, you know, we have ideas in our heads.
We've got you covered, guys.
Okay, now moving on to your number 2.
Sorry, that wasn't
two. That's a long day. We're making a lot of mistakes.
Your number 1, sir.
Okay.
Your number 1.
Well, number 1, and I'll be surprised if it's your number 1 because I know you don't like this Pokemon. It's Unpheasant. Unpheasant. I just hate it.
Yeah, for me, it's the worst of the regional birds. Again, missed out on my list due to wasps.
I was surprised you missed out because I know you. Like I said, I know you don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, so I did actually expect to put where you spoke to about it before. You have even said you hate it.
Yeah.
So I am quite surprised you did miss out on your list. Like I said, I did expect it to be your number 1. So I'm just to see what your number 1 is now.
Maybe I was unfair with putting Emolga on the list because I don't actually hate it because of its design or anything like that. I think it's rather cute. So maybe Unpheasant would probably have made the list. I think I made a bit of a clanger by not including it.
Yeah, obviously you have got the male and the female Unpheasant.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the... I've got to think which one it is now.
I think it's the male form, the one with the beautiful plumage.
Yeah, the male, I don't mind the male form, it's not too bad. But the female form's just, to me, it's ugly.
It is. It's ugly. It's plain. Unpheasant, of course, evolving from Pidove or Pidove, whatever you want to call it. Tomato. And for me, it's just not an awe-inspiring Pokemon.
Yeah,
and I remember it in the anime as well with Ash.
Obviously,
it was useless.
Obviously, once again, it's also evolution that doesn't really make sense. It's a pigeon evolving into a pheasant.
Yeah, just make a bigger pigeon.
Make a bigger pigeon, yeah. Would have been simple. Like, you know, obviously pigeons are simple looking birds, but
also
pigeons it's easy done.
Yeah, but also Pidgey.
Yeah,
that is named after a pigeon.
Yes,
Pidgeot.
Yeah.
Incredible design, paved the way, trailblazer, Pidove, Unpheasant. Nah. I'll genuinely do
get it in the bin.
Yeah, get it in the bin. I think I dropped a clanger there, if I'm honest. Okay, so on to my number 1 now. Now, this is a Pokemon that I hate for mainly personal reasons, and that is Swanna. Why do I hate Swanna? It's a swan.
I was going to say, is it because it's a swan?
I hate swans.
So do I. Evil birds.
They're vile. Birds. Apparently the Queen, the
Queen of England.
The Queen of England, when she was alive, God rest her soul and all that, owned 50% of the swans in the UK or something like that.
I thought it was all the swans.
It might have been all of them, or
something
like that.
Or they're under the Queen's protection or something along the lines.
So basically they're just birds and they are vicious. They are awful birds.
Yeah.
Again,
so for you that don't know what a swan is, so don't know if they are just a mainly English thing or not. I'm not sure. But for you in Canada, they are basically our equivalent of a Canadian geese.
Yeah, basically. Probably worse. They are so territorial. You walk past them, they hiss at you. Just by walking past them. I've never had any of our English geese do that, or any bird at all do that, and they're completely nasty. As elegant as they might look.
Their mouths are horrifying. If you've ever seen the teeth of them, I would not want it a bit of my life.
Yeah. So That's my reason I hate Swanner.
You hate it because it's based on a swan. I can totally understand that because, yeah. Like, I definitely would have had number 1 for that reason, but...
oh, no, it's...
But,
to me, Ducklet was meh, so it weren't ever going to win brownie points anyway. And Swanner, just vile, disgusting bird. So.
Once again, getting them in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, anyway, moving on to our favourite game.
Yeah, so we have done our electric types now, and we've also done our flying types. So, Spoony, I'm going to get you to again cut the
and Coughing fated. Coughing used the rollout, even though we can't learn that.
Probably rollout, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I think Coughing should learn rollout. He is just a ball, isn't he?
Okay.
Do you want to split the deck again?
Yeah, sure not.
So take a certain percentage
we'll
out.
Go for about half.
There we go.
Today.
And then we'll spread them out and we'll see what our next video entails.
Let's go here.
And what have we got?
Oh, it's dark.
That is Murkrow. Okay, so we have got our favourite dark type Pokemon.
Right.
I am going to have so much fun with the next video.
Dark was a good type.
Yeah.
Dark was a good type.
Definitely.
So yeah, okay.
Anyway, folks, I've been LeBlanc.
I've been Spoony.
Don't have yourselves a good day. Have yourselves an awesome day, and we'll see you
in the next
next time.